Hi guys, I'm Laura Vitale, and on this episode of Laura in the Kitchen, I know that we are knee deep in holiday season, and I don't know about you, but if you're anything like us where we have many small gatherings from pretty much the beginning of December to the beginning of January, you are in constant need of really quick and easy but delicious things to add to your little table spread to pick at. One must-have that I think a lot of places fall short in making a really good one is a shrimp cocktail. Shrimp cocktail is a classic, and it's easy and it's simple, and I'm going to show you how to execute making the best and easiest, most delicious shrimp cocktail. Now, the first thing you want to do is get your poaching liquid really delicious and really flavored. And for that, you're going to need obviously a pot with water coming up to a boil. To that pot, we're going to add really delicious things to flavor that water so that when we add our shrimp, it's going to absorb some of that flavor. So to it, I'm going to add some whole peppercorns. I like to add whole because if I were to add cracked black pepper, it'd just be messy. I'm also going to add about a whole head of garlic. You want to expose all those cloves. Don't bother peeling it. It's going to get strained anyway. Add that right in along with some parsley. This is a good time to add any parsley stems. Again, we are going to be fishing all of this out, so I'm not terribly concerned about anything. Then I'm going to go ahead and add a good amount of salt. I want this mixture to be really delicious and salty like the Mediterranean. Beautiful. I like to add some sharpness with a little white wine. I don't add onions, I don't add celery, I don't add carrots. I'm not making soup. I don't want a sweet, soupy broth situation. So that's all I add, along with a half of a lemon. Or you could do a whole lemon if you wanted to, but because I already have the wine, I'm just going to do a half of a lemon. I'm dropping the lemon half in there. Now, you're going to bring this to a boil, turn it down, let that simmer for a good 15 minutes until those flavors really release in the water. I'm making a small batch today because I would eat the entire thing, and it's just the two of us. So we're going to have a nice little cocktail and shrimp cocktail while watching White Lotus tonight. I like a small shrimp for this, okay? This, I would say, is like a small, medium-sized shrimp. It is shelled and deveined, of course, but with the tail left on. I prefer a small shrimp when it comes to shrimp cocktail because I think there's nothing quite worse than when you're having people over and it's not a formal sit-down dinner and you're kind of prancing around from one room to another, talking to one person to another, and you have your drink in one hand, and then you have your plate in this hand, right? And then you eat. I don't want to have to use a fork. I don't want to have to make multiple bites because that just gets messy and it can dribble. And I like one biters. And I think a small to medium shrimp is perfect for that. You would like a big shrimp? Do a big shrimp. Papa Sal likes big shrimp, so you would do big shrimp. I like a small shrimp when it comes to like picking and grazing from one thing to another. But again, choose a shrimp that floats your boat. If you'd like something bigger, use something bigger. Obviously, it's going to have to cook a little bit longer when you go to poach them, but just make sure that they are shelled and deveined, but with the tail left on. I'm just going to wash up really quickly, then we make our cocktail sauce. We're going to make cocktail sauce. And cocktail sauce is not difficult. It's very easy, and it's very good, and you can eat it with a multitude of things, might I add. You're going to need some ketchup. That's just how it starts. Some people add chili sauce. I don't. I just like cocktail sauce. I like prepared horseradish, ketchup, all to taste. I'll give you measurements. It will not matter because some of you might want it really sharp. Some of you might want it less. So that's up to you. A good dash or two of Worcestershire sauce. And then because I'm going to be grating my garlic, I'm only going to be doing 1 clove because remember, when you grate it, that flavor just becomes extremely strong and potent. Now, shrimp cocktail, it is a fantastic, fantastic make ahead. The sauce, the cocktail sauce benefits from being made ahead of time. The shrimp benefits from cooling for a while so they're fresh and cold and delicious. So if you want to make this the morning of your gathering or even the night before, do so. Squeeze a lemon. Give everything a really good stir. And then, like I said, it's just a question of tasting, adding a little bit of, if you've made it too strong, you can add a little bit more ketchup. If you've made it too mild, add a bit more horseradish, a bit more lemon, a bit more garlic. It's totally up to you. What does that need? Maybe more horseradish. I like sharp, you know? I like it where it makes like the hair on your chest kind of stand up a little bit. Oh, that's good. I also want a tiny bit more squeezed lemon. Got lemon all over me. Shocker of the day. And now as this sits in the fridge, the flavors will kind of all marry into each other. And once it has a chance to all marry, they'll really bloom in flavor. That's dynamite. That would be fantastic on my shoelaces. Sauce is done. Your poaching liquid's coming to a boil. It's doing its thing. Pretty soon we're going to add the shrimps. Life is good. And that smells great. You can tell that the water has changed color. It's been long enough. It smells fantastic. You can always give the water a little taste. And if you feel like it needs more salt, add more salt. If you feel like it's good, it's good. For me, it's good. You're not going to get all the peppercorns out. I just do it with a spider. You really don't have to. But now you want to keep that at a boil. You're going to add your shrimp. Now remember, the size of the shrimp matter, okay? Because you don't want to overcook a shrimp. These are going to take a minute and a half into this boiling water. And then what I'll do, because I don't want to shock them in cold ice or water to wash off any of that good flavor, I've got a baking sheet ready here with some parchment paper, and I'm going to just quite little. And the reason why this works instead of putting them into a bowl is so that I can fan them out in a single layer and they cool down faster rather than staggering them all on top of each other in a bowl and then risking the ones in the middle overcooking by the heat from the ones on the very top. So I avoid all of that by putting them on a baking sheet lined with the parchment paper. Again, depending on the size of your shrimp, they're going to cook a little longer, a little less. These, no more than like a minute and a half. So once it comes back up to a boil, I will take these out. That is it. They do not need very long. Nobody likes a tough and rubbery shrimp. I don't care what anybody says. We are tough cookies, but we don't like tough shrimp. Or as my Papa Sal would say, shrimps. Okay, that's pretty much it. They take no time at all. And this is the point where if you're making this ahead, cover the shrimp in a bowl. Once they've cooled down completely, covered in the fridge. Sauce covered in the fridge. I'm gonna let these cool very slightly, and then I'm gonna just plate them, and we're gonna have a taste test. You can tell this is the one I tested. I just cut it open after a minute, and it looked about perfect. When it comes to plating, I feel like shrimp cocktail is kind of retro, but can we please retire the martini glass with the shrimp on the side? Because not only is it so impractical, it's just like, come on, we've come a long way. Obviously, like I said, if I was making this for more people, although a pound of shrimp like this will feed. Now, mind you, there's going to be other things on the table, right? So this is going to feed a solid amount of, like, I would say 4 to 6 people. I mean, how many things can they eat? And we are eaters in this family, okay? But I think, honestly, this is perfect. I like a little spoon on the side for cocktail sauce so nobody double dips. If you wanted to, you could do some fresh cracked black pepper. I do some arugula just alongside. And I am telling you, it is the best shrimp cocktail. It is simple. It's divine. I kept some shrimp to the side for myself because, you know. I know. It was supposed to go in the pot, but it didn't. It doesn't get much better. I didn't spend a lot of time. They're perfect. The cocktail sauce is exactly how I like it. It's zingy, it's garlicky, it is all of the things that I love. The shrimp are the perfect size for me. It's heaven. And now Joe and I are going to very much thoroughly enjoy this and just enjoy the evening together. So, go to laurainthekitchen.com to get the written recipe. Hope you enjoy spending time with me. I will see you in the next one. Enjoy your season. Bye. That's beautiful.